On September 19th, intense monsoon storms once again threatened Lincoln County, New Mexico. The rainfall caused flash flooding in communities already weakened by previous disasters, confirming that the risk remains present in this region of the southwestern United States. The National Weather Service issued an immediate alert for the southeastern part of the county, warning that rainfall was concentrated in highly vulnerable areas. Areas scarred by the Blue 2, South Fork, and McBride fires were identified as the epicenter of the risk, as the loss of vegetation has drastically reduced the soil's ability to absorb water. Ground conditions have favored an increase in runoff velocity and, with it, the possibility of debris flows. The impact was immediate on major roads. Roads such as Meckham Drive, Gavilan Canyon Road, and Cream Meadows Drive were closed as a precaution to reduce the risk of serious accidents. These closures reflect a problem that is not new. Just 2 months earlier, on July 8th, 2025, the community of Ruidoso faced the worst flooding in its recent history. That day, the Ruidoso River reached a record level of 20.24 feet, transforming intense rainfall into a major catastrophe in minutes. The water swept away a home, damaged other properties and businesses, and left behind destroyed vehicles, downed trees, and tons of debris. 3 people lost their lives, while emergency crews performed multiple water rescues to evacuate those trapped in the current. The July tragedy was directly related to the wildfires of recent years. The destruction of vegetation turned the soil into a water-repellent surface unable to retain moisture. Since then, each storm has found a rain with no water retention capacity, turning any rainfall into a flash flood threat. Following that disaster, the federal government declared a major disaster under Code DR 4886-NM, which allowed resources and support to be channeled to the affected communities. However, recent September rains confirmed that recovery will be slow and that the risk has not disappeared. The 2025 monsoon season has tested the resilience of all of New Mexico. In August, another storm caused damage to Interstate 25 near Santa Fe. On August 1st, a flash flood warning was issued for a key section of the highway between mile markers 270 and 286. That event resulted in accumulated rainfall of between 0.5 and 1.5 inches, with the possibility of up to 1.25 inches. The deficiencies of the drainage infrastructure were evident when ponding formed, complicating traffic. Although a complete closure of the roadway was not required, motorists faced delays and dangerous driving conditions. These events have shown that not only rural communities are at risk, even major roads and urban areas can be exposed in a matter of minutes to intense rainfall. The damage has also affected the agricultural sector. Historic irrigation ditches and canals in the ACI have suffered severe damage from overflowing water, disrupting crops and highlighting the fragility of traditional irrigation systems in the face of extreme storms. The indirect influence of Tropical Storm Mario has also played a role in this scenario. Its remnants increased humidity in regions of California, Nevada, and Arizona, although the heaviest rainfall did not reach Ruidoso. Still, in New Mexico, monsoon rains remain the leading cause of emergencies. The sequence of events in July, August, and September shows an alarming pattern of continuity. But the situation is not limited to New Mexico. On September 19th, in Arizona, a woman died in Cochise County after being swept away by a stream, while another man was rescued in the same area. Hours later, at the Lavender Pit Mine, another worker was trapped and had to be evacuated by a rescue helicopter dispatched from Tucson. In Phoenix, a person was rescued after being trapped in his vehicle during early morning flooding. The storms in Arizona were accompanied by hail, lightning, and heavy rain. A quarter of an inch of precipitation was recorded at Sky Harbor International Airport, confirming that atmospheric instability is spreading to several areas of the state.
No, just move them. We'll drive right through.
Authorities have warned that storms will continue in the coming days, with temperatures near 100 degrees Fahrenheit that could further increase instability. In communities such as Alto, Hondo, and Capitan, recent rains have overflowed small streams that normally remain dry for much of the year. These intermittent streams, suddenly saturated, have invaded streets, yards, and residential driveways, creating an unexpected situation for hundreds of families who saw the water approach their homes without time to prepare. In Ruidoso Downs, the rising river has left visible signs of destruction. The water has deposited large amounts of sediment and logs in recreational areas and local businesses, disrupting economic activities and forcing temporary closures. Residents, still fresh in the memories of the July losses, have had to improvise sand and rock barricades to divert the flow to less populated areas. Urban drainage infrastructure, particularly in the low-lying areas of Ruidoso, has demonstrated its vulnerability to rainfall of this magnitude. The sewers collapsed in a matter of minutes, causing water to accumulate on main streets and making it difficult for ambulances and emergency vehicles to navigate. This type of blockage has increased the perception of insecurity among residents, who feel that each storm represents a new danger.